They say that the world will never go back to the way it was before, that the normal we once knew is gone forevermore. But I never desired normal and everything that it implies, that we should all live in the same way and view the same skies. No, I want to travel to the unexpected and want to be surprised. I want to meet real characters and wake up to a different sunrise. Of course the world is changing, but then again, it has never stood still before. I can't wait to see it all again and let it open my eyes once more.
So now it's my pleasure to introduce Karen Nelson. Karen is the Senior Vice President of HRIS and Compensation at Marriott International. Karen, many in the audience, including myself, are probably very familiar and loyal customers of Marriott, but we may not be familiar with the size and scale of your operations and your role within Marriott. Could you maybe educate the audience a little bit more about Marriott International and your role?
I'm happy to. So, I've been with Marriott for about 13 years. I lead the design, development, and delivery of our global HR technology and services infrastructure for our managed and franchise associates. And with an extraordinary team, I led our Oracle HCM implementation, which went live on December 26, 2020. So, Marriott is the largest hospitality company in the world with over 7,600 hotels in over 130 countries, and we have 30 brands in our portfolio. And Marriott simply has the best and the brightest in the business. And one of the things that I think makes us extraordinarily special is our take care culture. It's our global commitment to ensure that our associates are afforded opportunities to develop skills, to build meaningful relationships, and to have a positive and sustainable impact on the world. And the way that we do that frequently is through the use of technology.
Now, with such a large portfolio and global portfolio, going through the global pandemic and shelter in place, obviously for hospitality industry especially, there's been some real challenges. Maybe could you educate us on how you've had to rethink the business and operations in light of the COVID crisis?
Absolutely. So, as you mentioned, the impact of the pandemic on the hospitality industry and Marriott in particular has been unprecedented. So, we had to very quickly pivot to worrying about our associates and our guests and sourcing cleaning supplies, probably like so many in the audience today, in a very short amount of time. With our associates, we have hundreds of thousands of employees around the world who wear a Marriott name badge. And it was our goal to retain as many of them as possible despite the realities of the COVID pandemic. And so, for those that we had to put on furlough, we were able to provide benefits to them in ensuring that as much as we could, we were taking care of them. For our guests, we sought to put in place a global cleanliness council, which was a team combined of both internal and external experts to ensure that we could bring our guests the most current thinking on the scientific data that was being shared for how to manage through this pandemic. Now, with our owners and franchisees, they too have been probably the most significantly impacted. And as an organization, we've been working with them to cut costs, but also work to drive demand generation so that we can get individuals in the hotels and guests in the hotels as quickly as we could. Thankfully, today we have over 95% of our hotels that are open again, ready to receive guests, and we are just continuing to be optimistic about the impact of the vaccine on the future of travel.
Well, that's great news for everybody. I think to have so many high percentage of of the hotels back open now. With you detailed a lot of changes from associates to guests to owners and franchisees. I mean, really, quite a transformation throughout 2020. Why was this the right time to replace and to move to Oracle HCM Cloud, replacing several legacy systems?
We actually began our implementation journey in the spring of 2018, And at that time, we were faced with legacy systems that were nearing end of life, service contracts that were expiring, and just we were developing this acute knowledge that we knew that our platforms that we had in place were just not going to meet the long-term demands of our global workforce and their expectations. And so we chose Oracle to proceed with because we knew that there was a flexibility and capability in the platform that would really serve us well as we were seeking to engage our associates. Combine that with the synergies that we felt that we would see with our financial systems, and then just confidence in the partnership that working with Oracle and Marriott working together, that we would be able to overcome any challenges. So we knew our implementation was going to be aggressive. We were going to be launching all modules, big bang, globally, within a 20-month time frame. And we could not have predicted the impact of the pandemic on our implementation. So we basically, like so many things in the world, came to a screeching halt. The project was put on hold for about 4 months, and we were actually within 100 days of going live when we shut down the project. And then when we returned, about 4 months later, we had smaller teams, and we were completely virtual. So we had, when we launched on December 26, 2020, we had over 700 people that were sitting around the world in their homes with their kids and their dogs, helping to support us. And frankly, I'm not sure I've ever spent that much time in my dining room as I have preparing for this go live.
No, I can imagine. Well, to give the audience some perspective, you called it aggressive, but I would call it aggressive and impressive. So, Karen's outlined the size and scale of Marriott. She outlined obviously the changes in business process to all constituents during COVID. She outlined the change midstream work from home. What she didn't cover is they are now live in core HR, payroll, absences, performance and compensation, learning, recruiting, incentive comp, and platform as a service for some extensions. And again, globally throughout Marriott International. So it's quite impressive. Now, with that impressive project, uh, early days, but what have the results been so far, and what are your expectations down the road?
So far, we've had just tremendous feedback from our associates. We launched with 15 languages so that we could engage our global workforce. And for many of them, this was the first time that they were actually able to interact with our human resources tools and programs. So really strong, positive response. We did launch, as you mentioned, with platform as a service, and to date, our hotel discount program, which is our most beloved benefit. Just in 2 months, we've had over 650,000 hotel discount forms printed, which is that little green shoot of hope that we are going to start to see the travel industry come back. We have high self-service utilization in the United States for our managers and our associates, and now that we have platform that's in language, we're really looking forward to expanding that capability outside of the U.S. so that our associates globally can seek opportunities, learn new skills, and that their managers can also engage with them in a different way to build that talent for them. So it'll be self-service. We're going to be looking towards our annual performance cycle, incentive comp cycles, and then, hopefully we're starting to already plan for that, trying to find that unicorn, which is global payroll.
Well, it's amazing. So even I listed a long list of impressive accomplishments. I left out languages. At Oracle, we talk a lot about customer first, how to focus on the customer. I mean, this has been your business for quite some time. You are one of our role models in terms of the customer service part. So how would you describe your relationship with Oracle so far? What's next on the cloud, and how are we doing from that customer from a customer service expert? How are we doing on the customer service end?
The team that we brought forward for the implementation, the partnership has just been outstanding. So whether it was the product owners that came together to help us to define the solutions where we were struggling, to the delivery teams that ensured that every step of the way we were going to hit our implementation goals, really holding people accountable to ensure that they were serving the Marriott solution and account. And it in the truest sense of partnership, we had a shared vision, and upheld the commitments that we made to each other. And in some ways, we never questioned it, and we had the Oracle team on the phone with us every step of the way. And for this implementation, it actually was pretty much on the phone. So it was definitely exciting. And when we look towards the future, there's one of the reasons I mentioned that we chose Oracle was just the flexibility and capability. And even now, seeing some of the support that you're providing for COVID, the new Journeys functionality that's come out, which is going to help us to engage our associates in a different way. There's so much opportunity that it's nice when the hardest thing that you have to do is prioritize which new capability you're going to bring forward first. So the partnership that we've had with Oracle, we're seeking to continue that because it's just been so positive with this HCM implementation.
Again, Karen, thank you very much for your time today, and thanks for sharing all of the information on your journey with the audience. And we can't wait to get back to Marriott in one of your or 7,600 properties around the world. So just thanks again for your great work, and thanks for your time today sharing it with everybody.
Thank you. We look forward to welcoming you. So thank you again.